What's going on, guys? So me and Dee are changing up the channel a little bit. As you notice, on the title of the channel has changed. We're not so much doing too much with RC cars now. They broke and we just haven't got around to fixing them. So me and Dee actually got a project, real car. Me and him's been working on it. It's been about a year now. So we're going to start the adventures with that on our YouTube channel. We're working on this car, trying to, get back on the road. Right now I'm on my way to the junkyard. Me and Dee came over here earlier and they wouldn't let him in after they already said they would. That's a whole nother story though. But I'm on my way now, and we're going to pull some parts hopefully and get them back to the house. And me and Dee are going to work on the Dart today. So we'll explain the story behind the Dart and introduce you guys to the car, and we'll go from there, and we will keep you guys on the journey with us. So we look forward to sharing this experience with you guys and showing you what kind of fun we have. And so yeah, I just got to the junkyard, and we will see you guys here in a bit. Got back from the junkyard. It was a complete bust. We got nothing for the car. That junkyard is terrible. It's really poorly ran, not well organized, just absolutely terrible. So, but hey, we're here with the dude. Finally back with him. So I told you guys we would introduce you to the car that we wound up picking up. And so this is, it is a 2013 Dodge Dart. Picked it up almost a year ago. The guy said it wouldn't run, it would crank over, but wouldn't start. Come to find out, they'd never changed the oil in it. Crazy thing about a car, oil in a car, it's not gonna run. So me and the dude, as soon as he comes over here, me and the dude got underneath there. We had to drill the drain plug out, drain all the oil, change the oil filter. Once we did that, it started building oil pressure back up. Once the oil pressure built up, it started right up, didn't it, dude? Yep. What happened after it started up, though? What did it do? It started smoking real bad with the exhaust pipes. Yep. And we had to run it that way for a while until it stopped smoking, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. We haven't really done too much to it since then. It's had a real bad oil leak up front, so we're about to fix that today. We ordered some parts for that. About to get that done. When we bought the car, it didn't have racetrack lights, did it? Nope. No racetrack lights. So we went to the junkyard, got racetrack lights, and we installed those. Want to show the people? Yeah. We ain't gonna be able to show you because it's daylight out right now, but we can at least show you the lights when we're, so you know what we're talking about when we mean racetrack lights. It's actually right here on the trunk. The light that goes on the trunk right here. Yep, that part right there. All that lights up. When you buy a base model car, none of that middle lights up, just the sides over here. So we actually went to the junkyard and pulled this off of another Dart and put it on here. And now we have full racetrack lights that go all the way around. I'll have to get a nighttime shot for you guys so you can see that. And the people that were running this car before we got it did some real hillbilly stuff to it. Jacked it all up. We had to we replaced all the fuses that were in the car, relays that were in the car. We had to change the wheel well covers, right? So we've done quite a bit to this car so far, more than I thought we did actually. But it's definitely a project. Like I said, we have an oil leak that we're not to mention we have some dents in the car like here, which is normal for Darts actually. It's crazy. She's got some scratches. She definitely needs cleaned. As you can see, it's all scratched up right here on the bumper. You can't really see it here because it's dark, but there's a huge scratch that goes here all the way down the side of her. So we have a special paint job in mind for her though. So once we get that done, but yeah, we're gonna get started. We're going to pull the oil separator off, right? What else are we pulling off? Oh, the valve cover we're pulling off. So we're gonna change the oil separator, which is broken. We'll show you that. And then the valve cover gasket's leaking, so we're gonna pull that off and replace that gasket as well. And then maybe tomorrow, we have a really special surprise coming tomorrow. We're actually going to be lowering the car about 2 inches. So it should be setting nice and low for that as well.
Won't that be touching though?
Yeah, we have these handcuffs to maybe make those handcuffs touch the ground when we're done. Should be fun. So, yep. You ready to get working on this car?
Yeah!
Let's go. So, we're here at the dart. We're getting ready to change the oil separator, which is this. It has a crack on the bottom down here that's leaking oil out.
Yep.
So we have to take these 2 hoses off. There's a hose on the back side back here we got to take off. And I think there's 3 bolts we got to take out. So Dominic is going to start taking some of these hoses off. Actually, I think I might have him take the bolts out. I'll take the hoses off because the clamps are a little harder to do. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'll probably crack the bolts loose for him, and then he'll finish taking them out.
Yep.
So. Alright, so Dominic is going to start taking the bolts out while I take the hoses off.
Do I take the bolt out? Right here?
Yep, take that one out. There's one right here to take out and then one over here to take out. Oh shit!
Holy moly.
Probably broke that hose loose first. There we go. Turn that over here.
I'm using my hand now, Daddy.
Oh, arm right in his face. Here we go. Really don't want to mess with this one again. I'm afraid if I mess this up,
I got the bolt out.
All right, set it somewhere where it won't get lost.
Right there. Right there where I set it. I'll set it right there.
Good choice. There we go. Do it that way.
No?
Break that hose loose. There we go. I think that was loose, man. You could probably reach in there and grab that
What
one.
happened to your eye?
I don't know.
Like right here?
I don't know.
Seems like your nose is bleeding right here too.
Probably because my hand was bleeding. All right. Got all the screws together?
I can't get the one.
Oh, you can't reach that one?
I'll probably have to do this.
All right, I'll grab this one then.
I'll be back.
So, we got those 3 bolts out, and they are just covered in oil. So, it doesn't surprise me she's leaking any.
Yeah.
Now we have this clamp in the very back on this hose, but I might actually just take this clamp off back here on the back side of the engine.
Yeah.
On the multi-air block. Because, actually that's not even multi-air block, I don't think. Alright, so wait until you guys see this oil that's all over this right here. Alright, so we got the oil separator off. And you can tell it was leaking pretty bad. As you can see here, it's pretty covered in oil. I've tried different things to get it to stop leaking oil, and it just didn't work. I've tried everything. JB Weld, I tried creating a new gasket for it. Just nothing helped it. I mean, you can see pretty well that it's covered in oil. There's a crack right there, as you can see. I tried fixing it with JB Weld, but oil JB does not mix very well. Now you can see that crack. And it is just allowing oil to go all over the engine. Let's see if I can get a good shot of this. Turn the camera. See, as you can see, it was letting oil just drain down in here, which was causing it to go down the side of the engine. I mean, it was everywhere. It's, as you can see, if the camera focuses on it, it's all wet down in there. It's wet down in there. So it was just letting oil go everywhere. So that's what me and Dee are in the process of fixing right now. Is getting that oil separator changed out. Of course, I'm going to clean it all off, get all the debris out of the way. You can see the remnants of the JB weld. It did not hold up to that whatsoever. So we gotta get all this cleaned off, get that gasket cleaned off, and hopefully I don't need a new gasket, but these are known to fail really bad. So more than likely you're gonna need a new gasket for this. It's the O-ring, but I might have one that I can put on there. We'll just have to get this old one off. So we'll be right back. Alright, so I'm gonna have Dominic take the rag, start wiping the oil off of this valve cover while I try to find a gasket that might fit that, because this one's pretty flat. So I think it's definitely gonna need replaced. I'm gonna check the new oil separator and see if a gasket came with it. I doubt it. Usually they try to screw you by having to buy multiple things at once. So, but I'm gonna see if I have a gasket that will fit that. Maybe work a little bit better than the one they would send us anyways. So we'll see about that. Dominic's gonna get this oil cleaned off, and then we'll show you guys how to install the new one. It's pretty simple. So we'll be back in just a jiffy. So we were going to change the oil separator next, but I forgot we're actually going to pull the valve cover gasket off the valve cover off so we can change the valve cover gasket next. So that means we have to take all the coils out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bolts on the valve cover to pull off to get to the valve cover gasket. And then there's also a bolt on the side that goes to a bracket we're going to have to pull off as well. I've had this bracket off before. It's a pain. It's not even fun, but we've got to get this valve cover gasket changed so she'll stop leaking oil. So, yeah, that's the next step to go through. I think we're just going to power through this real quick and use the impact to pull all these off real fast. So
you don't have to do it like slow stuff like this.
That's right. So we will do that next.
Yep. Yeah.
Alright, so I just took out all the screws for the coil packs. Now we're going to pull all the wires off for the coil packs.
Yeah.
And then Dee is going to go through and pull all the coil packs out of here. So I'll let him go ahead and do that while I take out some more of the other accessories that have to come off the valve cover in order for us to be able to pull the valve cover off. There's a bracket we got to get off. There's a wiring harness that's connected to the top of the valve cover. We'll get all that taken off. There's also a bracket on the back side of the valve cover we have to take a bolt out to get to be able to take the valve cover off. And then there's bolts on the side for the timing belt cover. We'll have to take that cover off to be able to get the valve cover off as well. So go ahead and start pulling the coil packs out, set them on the workbench, and then we'll get the rest of it.
All right.
Remember, they're nice and tight, so you're probably going to have to use both hands.
Definitely pretty tight.
Go ahead and pull that one out.
Okay. Got it.
Yep, set that over on the workbench. Also, a good rule of thumb is when you're pulling your coil packs out of one of the 1.4 liter engines that's in the Dodge Dart, is take your light and look inside of the spark plug ports and see if there's oil down in there. Because if that's the case, then that's another indication that your valve cover is leaking down inside your spark plug ports as well.
This one's hard.
You need to scoot over?
It's hard.
Here, scoot over. Here. There you go. Now reach up here and try to get that.
This one I'm doing right now.
Let me get these cords out of your way.
Okay.
There you go.
This one's pretty hard.
He was not kidding. Set that on the workbench. We replaced a few of these coil packs came with the car that were new because they originally thought the coils were bad and that's why it wasn't starting. So that is a good thing. I mean, we got newer coil packs in it, so that's nice. So yeah.
Yep.
Now I got the wiring harness kind of pulled back out of the way. I don't want to have to take the wiring harness off, so I'm just kind of tuck it back so it's not in our way when we're trying to do this. So next we're going to take this bracket off that's up front here. Because it's in the way. Go ahead and take that bracket.
Where'd I put it?
Put it over on the workbench. Put those screws with the bracket. So, yeah, now we got that off there. Now we have to go through and try to take out some of the more difficult bolts on the bracket on the side over here, on the right side. And then I'm gonna have Dominic on the left side taking out the screw for the timing belt cover. It's just I think I put a Phillips in there because it was missing the screw. When we bought the car, it didn't have a timing belt cover on it, because it's another thing they thought was wrong with it was they thought the timing belt was out of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It didn't jump time.
Yeah.
So they had those off there, and they lost all the bolts to it. So we went through and had to replace the bolts. Luckily, we have a connection that has some bolts for us, so it was kind of pretty easy to replace all those bolts. So, all right, I'm gonna go through and start pulling off some of these other bolts with the impact that I can get off of it, and D is gonna pull off the valve cover or the timing belt cover over here on this other side.
How do I get it off?
You have to take out the screw that's in there. I think there's another screw we'll have to look for.
Oh, I need a screwdriver.
Well, you know where the screwdrivers are. Yeah, I'm gonna take off this whole freaking bracket too. Okay. All right. So it's been a little bit update for you guys. We got the valve cover off.
Oh my god, it's so lot of oil.
The valve cover gasket is shot. I mean, there's oil.
It's covered in oil.
It definitely should not be leaking like it is. So, yeah, the valve cover gasket is definitely shot. So we're definitely going to be replacing that. And looking at the oil right now, she is definitely due for another oil change pronto. So we've got to get that done. But, yeah, take a look at what we found here. Might be kind of hard to see. Let me turn this. So, as you can see, it's definitely leaking like right in here. You can see where it went past the gasket. The gasket's shot. And this is where a lot of the oil was coming from, way down in there. So it's definitely shot. I mean, you can see pretty bad. So, the oil's kind of dark. Definitely due for another oil change. Me and Dominic did one a while ago. It was we don't drive it much, so I haven't done a lot of oil changes on it. But yeah, she's definitely due for another one. So yeah, other than that, I mean, it's decently clean. There's not a lot of gunk, not a lot of buildup, as you can see. The cam lobes are pretty clean. So yeah, we get this all cleaned up, wiped off, cleared. and then we'll get the valve cover gasket changed and get it all put back together. So not too bad of a job, pretty relatively easy. Like I said, you have a few bolts along the back here. There's one in the corner over there, here, 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 and here, with some bolts on the side for this bracket here, here, and there's one that goes on the backside back here. Then there's also a bracket that mounts back in there, and you have to take that bracket off as well. So yeah, we just changed out and then show you guys what we found. So as I'm sitting here looking at this valve cover, you can definitely see a lot of spots on this valve cover that were flat and definitely not right. Primarily in the places where it was leaking at as well. So get this changed out, and then hopefully between this and the oil separator, we'll get the oil leak stopped. The oil separator that we bought is actually Mopar. We got it from the actual Mopar website. I think the one they had on here definitely was not original. It looks like it was aftermarket. There's not any stamps on it saying Chrysler or Mopar. So I'm thinking they may have found an aftermarket one to put on here. So hopefully we'll get that changed and get it taken care of as well. So yeah, we'll get this done and we'll see you guys in a minute. What's up, guys? Me and Dominic's back at it. Back out here with the dart. This is just the ending, to the video. I wanted to show you guys what we got done. This is pretty much the next day. So we wanted to show you guys what we wind up getting done on her, and kind of give you a preview of what's going on in the next video. So here it is.
Yep.
If you remember, we replaced the oil separator, the valve cover gasket, right, dude? Mm-hmm. And we did some painting on here to make it look a little better. So a little bit of detailing. I think it looks a lot better.
Yeah, it does.
And then, since, we named her Moxie, after Borderlands 3, that Moxie. We had to put the kissy lips on there, because it's Moxie. Come on. So, I painted the overflow tank as well. And then, did a little bit of body work on her. When we got her, the bumper was pretty trash, so we're working on fixing those cracks as well.
Yep.
So, learning body work. I've never done body work, obviously. He's never done body work. So, body work is a new thing for both of us. But, we have to buy a new bumper anyways, or we had to.
Yep.
So, why not practice some body work on a busted bumper? Kind of works out for both of us that way.
Yeah.
Kind of the way I see it.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the next video, we're going to start the coilovers. Yeah. So stay tuned. Make sure you guys come back to the channel and check the progress on that. Never done them before, and heard the dart's quite challenging, bro. So be a fun adventure for us to get into.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, stay tuned. It's a beautiful day out here, and it's supposed to be beautiful all week. So even if we get one coilover at a time, we'll have them done by the end of the week. So,
Daddy,
you guys stay tuned. What's up?
am I gonna be the one that's taking off the tires?
Yeah, you're gonna help me take off the tires. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
You guys ready to see a 7-year-old take tires off of a car? He knows how. Stay tuned.